Oh, he's in a hungry mood. I just changed him, put a new outfit on. Okay, shh. Welcome back to our little cry. I feel like this is gonna be a new thing. No makeup on, got a very simple outfit on, got the little baby feeding. I'm gonna be here chatting away. Today's topic is water births, because I got so many DMs about it that I then put up a post on my stories, and I was like, who wants me to talk about water birth? Do you have any questions for me that I could possibly answer? And I got so much feedback. I had so many people get in touch, sending questions and just DM me. Like, I've never had such a huge response to anything like that before. Just to clarify, basically my first labor and delivery, I delivered in a pool, so it was a full-on water birth from beginning to end. With my second birth, I spent half of it in, just over half of my labor in the pool, and then the rest of the time I was on a bed because I had complications. And if you want to know more about that, then I will link somewhere on the screen my labor and delivery story, and also down in the description box as well. Okay, so the first question that I'm seeing here, and this was asked so many times, did it help with your SPD? Did you have okay, so did it help with your SPD? So I had SPD. If you don't know what that is, that means you don't have it, or Google it. My pelvis was in a lot of pain, and I had a lot of pain in my right leg. So when my contractions started, that pain, actually right till the end, that SPD pain was there constantly, and it does not go away when you have labor. I also had sciatica in both my legs, like in my, you know, your thighs, where basically where it joins from the hip to the actual thigh bone. Like, I had really bad pain there. That's where my sciatica was. So with the water birth, the reason why the first time around and this time around I wanted a water birth was because it is supposed to be really good for people who do have pains, who have chronic pain, and who have like SPD and stuff like that, because it really helps. Like, literally, I first was sitting on the bed, like this time around I was sitting on the bed waiting for the pool to heat up, and I mean to fill up. At the beginning I was waiting for the pool to get filled up, and I was sitting on the bed, and like I was getting my contractions, I had gas and air, but like my SPD and sciatica was insane. So but then as soon as I got into the pool, like, the relief is instant. It doesn't go away, but wow, like the relief, it goes from like, so your pain's like 100 and it goes down to about, I would say like 50, like 60, 50, 40, around that kind of mark. It's amazing. I definitely would recommend basically getting a water birth if you're low risk and you suffer with any of those things, because it really helped me. And then when they did have to take me out, like I could feel the pain again, if that makes sense, in my legs. Like, it was really bad. But does it help contractions? Yes, I feel like for me personally it helped with both my contractions, and like the contractions are unbearable when you're not in the water. Alhamdulillah. I had a lot of people ask me about what clothes to wear and stuff, and if they can wear normal clothes when they're in the pool. I would not recommend it. I would definitely say try and get something that's a swimsuit material. That is a swimsuit. It's women only, so you can just wear anything, it's not an issue. And I got a two-piece from ASOS, and it was basically like a vest, like a vest top and pants. So I would recommend something like that, because it's really easy to put on and off. So when I was getting contractions and I put it on in the room, it was easy to put on, and then at the same time when I had complications, it was easy to take off. So you want something that's easy, you don't want to be faffing around. Come on. Oh, and then a few people were saying that, is it like cold and stuff? No, so the water's warm. It's, I can't describe it, like, it's really warm. Like, it's not warm like lukewarm. It's a little bit warmer than that. It's a bit like when you're having a bath. It's, oh bismillah, it's that kind of temperature. So it's not hot but it's not warm, if that makes sense. And they do so with the temperature, it is measured. So they have a thermometer and they make sure that the temperature is just right for you and for baby. Obviously they have to, the water has to be the perfect temperature for the baby to come out. It can't be too hot and it can't be too cold. And another thing is, with with where I gave birth, they said they add hot water every hour. So that's another thing. Like if, because I wanted it, I was like, oh, this is getting a bit like not cold. I was like, it's getting a bit warm now. Like it's not as hot, the water. And then they were like, let us check the time, and it was literally almost an hour. It was 50 minutes. So they were like, okay, we'll just fill it, we'll just add hot water. So they what they do is they take some of the water away and then they add hot water. That's how it happens. Honestly, water baths are just amazing, and even though I didn't get to experience it fully this time around, I'm so glad that I spent more than half my labor in it, because it did make things easier. And like when you get in, instantly like the weight of the bump of your legs and everything just gets lifted and you do feel relief. Honestly guys, like I love it. With the negatives, I would say this kind of doesn't go for everybody though. This was for me because I was still halfway through labor when I had to come out, because I had a complication. It was freezing. Like I felt so cold because obviously my body was like going through so much, and this is when my contractions were like getting really unbearable. So what ended up happening was it was just the cold hit me, the contractions, and everything just hit me at once. So I'd say that's the only like negative, but I don't think there's like a negative. It's all kind of depends what you like, what you don't like. Would you recommend for first pregnancy? 1000%. Like I think everybody's first everybody's first labor should be in the water, because honestly it just makes things so much easier. The other amazing thing about the water birth was when Nazmia was actually born, she was so calm. She did not cry. Like she did not, she cried hours later. She didn't cry. Like she was honestly like it was such a calm like birth, if that makes sense, in the sense that when she came out she wasn't screaming, she wasn't crying. Did you have to get out at the did you have to get out of the water at the end of labor to prevent tearing? So I would say like you kind of don't know when the baby's gonna come out, I feel like. And I feel like if the head's already coming out, I don't know if they'll get you to come out, because that could be a little bit dangerous. So I'm not sure, because obviously like they want you to try and get the baby out if you're already pushing. So I don't know, that's not sure. What made you opt for the water birth? So I watched a lot of videos and I read a lot about like giving birth, what positions are best, how to give birth like the best way without tearing, stuff like that. Even though I got a 3rd degree tear with Nazmia. It's so funny because that was one of my concerns. That was like my biggest concern, and it still happened. Just thought, you know what, I love water, I love swimming, I love pools, I love that kind of stuff. And like I'm very, oh also you know what else, I used to go swimming with my first pregnancy and I loved the water so much that I felt like, you know what, actually a water birth makes so much sense, because I already felt the effects of swimming, like being in such a big pool and like your body just not weighing anything. It was amazing. So that's initially what made me opt for it. How did your husband react on it? So Ahmed loves the pool as well. By the way, I had a few people ask me like, does your husband get in and stuff? Okay, as far as I'm aware, and the way I had it and then the way they do it here in Birmingham, I don't know, I'm guessing it's like an England thing. So your partner, whoever it may be, does not get in the pool. Here you go, baby. Your partner does not get in with you. They're usually, well, not usually, they would be, they're behind you, and like so they'll help you. Like for example with me, he was helping me hold my gas and air, and then if I needed water, I'd get the water, you know, stuff like that. So they don't get in the water with you, it's just you by yourself. There's no need for them to get in as well. I feel like what else? And the midwives were saying stuff like, you know, babies come out more calmer. Somebody goes, I was meant to have a water birth but was told it slows contractions down. I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe it does, because it's maybe it does actually, because Nazmia's labor was 5 hours, active labor, and Ilyasine's was 4. So I guess, and I spent less time in the pool this time around, so I guess maybe it does slow down contractions. But I would rather, if I had a straightforward birth, I would rather it slow down by a little bit of time and it just happened, because honestly, when the contractions are like bad but they're like bearable, like you're still getting through it, the pool really helps in that sense, because you need the pool. Like it helps with like if you have SP, that's what I'm saying though. I feel like because I had SPD and sciatica, that's why it was so important to me. Whereas if you don't have, bismillah, if you don't have those kind of issues, then maybe it's not as important to you to have a water birth. What did you do to help pre-labor and during labor that helped with the water birth? Absolutely nothing. I didn't do anything at all. I tried to walk as much as possible. That was really it. Do you stay in the water the whole time, or do you have to get out to be checked? Okay, so you don't need to get out to be checked. What happens is they've got this machine that listens to the baby's heartbeat, so whenever you're not contracting, they will listen to it. Also, like, they have a mirror so they can see if there's anything like going on. You don't have to, unless there's something serious happening, they won't tell you to get out the water. With me, because I started bleeding, they were like, okay, we need to check, we can't check you under the water, so we will just have to check you on the bed. And then when they checked me, turns out I did have to leave. What did you find easier, normal or water birth? Oh, I don't know, because like I said, they were two completely different. I had two completely different births, so I can't compare them. Okay, some people are a bit confused. So I had the water birth in the actual hospital, guys. I didn't have it at home. There's a few people that asked if what happens afterwards, or if it was at the hospital and stuff. Did you feel uncomfortable and just wanted to get out of the water at any point? I felt uncomfortable definitely when but it wasn't because of the pool, it was more like the pain. So I didn't want to get out the pool at all actually. I felt really like warm and it was nice. Do you have to get out of the water when you actually push the baby out? No, you don't. So you literally have the baby in the water, and what happens is when the baby comes up, they will catch the baby. Or they will hold the baby, but it'll be such, I found anyway with Nazmia, that in the water birth they gave me the baby quicker, because I was just like, for some reason it was so much quicker. Whereas when I was having him, like, he had a little bit more contact with the midwife than Nazmia did. Like with the water, she kind of like just floated up herself as well. The water one, she came out much better than he did on a bed. Did it feel more modest and covered than being on a bed? This is really interesting because it's really weird, but when you're in the water, you do feel, even though the water is clear and it's all see-through and stuff, you do feel like it's a lot more modest. Also, like, obviously it's like a big tub and stuff, so you do feel a lot more modest. On the bed, I can't comment on that, because I had so many blankets and so many towels over me that I was completely covered pretty much. And then when he was coming out, like, I was in so much pain that I don't really remember what happened. So like there's a lot of people asking about like modesty and stuff like that. First of all, most like I only had female like midwives, and basically everybody that was there was female. So you don't really have to worry about modesty. Also, when you're in that much pain, you're not thinking about modesty. Like, you're really not. You just want you to be okay. You want it all to stop. You want the baby to come out and be healthy, and you just want it to end. The pain is so unbearable. The last thing you're gonna care about is modesty, like, trust me. What pain relief is allowed during water birth? So I'm not sure, and I think that really depends on the person, on what they want. I didn't want anything but gas and air, so that's what I got. Do you have to choose it before you go into the delivery suite, or can you decide when you reach? Yes, so you can decide when you reach. I kept telling them I want water birth, but they didn't write it down. And then when I got there, they put me in a room with a bed, and I was like, where's the pool? And then I was like, can I have a water bath please? And then they were like, yeah, sure. And they just moved me into another room, and then I ended up like going there. But also with the water baths, it does also depend on your hospital. It depends if they're gonna have them free. It depends like how busy the hospital is, because obviously if it's full, then you can't really, there isn't a pool for you, then you can't have a water bath. So that's kind of how it works where I go, and I'm guessing that's how it works everywhere else. But yeah, I think I haven't gone through all the questions, but I think I'm gonna leave it there. And I hope you guys found this video helpful and useful in any way. So I tried to answer as many of the popular questions as possible, and I feel like this is like all the questions I pretty much had about it beforehand as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.